Yeah, hey Pat, Pete, thanks for doing this. Justin Jefferson was talking after the game yesterday about there just seemed to be a lack of energy with the team earlier in the game, and he and before the game, and he was saying he was trying to get people energized. Did you see any lack of energy, and if so, could you elaborate on it?
For the most part, with me being a leader on this team, I try to bring juice and be that guy to kind of help it thrive and go through the team. I won't necessarily say the energy was just quite dead. It definitely wasn't the same. So as players, we have to do a better job of bringing our own juice. That's something that that starts in Pop Warner. You shouldn't need anyone to juice you up for a football game. So just for us as players, we just have to do a better job of making sure that we have our mindset right once we step into the stadium.
Ben?
Yeah, Pat, when you guys get turnovers that you get and then you're not able to capitalize maybe in the way that you want, speaking of energy, I guess, what does that do to the emotional state of a team when you kind of have those swings of we get a turnover and then we can't capitalize on it?
Well, there you go. I felt that the energy, was there, throughout the game. Far as like you talked about getting turnovers in the game, and with me not being on the offensive side of the ball, I can't tell you why couldn't get the points that we wanted off of those turnovers. But we're a team, we're in this together, and we just have to find a way to be better in those situations. Find a way to, because there's opportunities out there on the defensive side of the ball to where we could have had more, turnovers. But those opportunities slipped away from us. So we could be better on both ends of the ball. Converting those turnovers into touchdowns, and on defense, creating more turnovers.
Andrew?
Hey, Pat, I just wanted to ask you from your perspective, what was going on with the run defense yesterday? It seemed like they were able to kind of get some lanes going.
Well, with me being on the outside, looking in, it's tough for me, to kind of gauge, what's going on in the run game. Not have an opportunity, to really dissect the front seven, as far as run fits and things like that. When we go in and dissect film, we're pretty much dialed on the passing aspect of the game. So really couldn't tell you what was the problem with the run defense yesterday, but we know that's something that we have to fix, and we know that was something that we had to slow down going into the game, if we wanted to come out on top.
I think we heard Anthony Barr. He had mentioned that some of the stuff they do schematically with moving, kind of they bring in three wide receivers, they get the nickel involved in the run fits. I guess just being a veteran who's seen that offense for a long time now, does that kind of stress it a little bit more when they try to spread you out and then still kind of run at you?
Yeah, they do a great job of creating extra holes, extra gaps for their runners. Sean does a great job of getting the defensive eyes moving left and right. Then have a nice counter with the downhill running. So they have a great system over there. Sean does a great job of play calling. And putting his guys in position to make plays, as far as the zone scheme that they have and the power scheme that they have, implement in there at times as well. So, those guys do a great job of, trying to find and make open lanes for their runners.
Brian?
Hey, Pat. Just a quick aside here. What's it been like working with Karl Scott this year? First new DB coach, and kind of dealing with new guy dealing with all you veterans.
It's been great. Coach Karl has stepped into the room like he's been here for 10, 12 years. He communicates with us very well. Have a great understanding of the game, being a defensive coordinator, being a defensive back coach. In his past, so he has a great understanding of the game, and he, like I said, he does a great job of communicating with the players, making sure that we are more than prepared when we step out on the field. Does a great job with the young guys, helping them with their upbringing, for an example with Cam, making sure that he was more than ready when his when his number got called. Chris Boyd is starting to get into the rotation a little bit. Cam has been safety. Cam has been playing great for us all year long. His role has been expanding slowly. So Coach Karl has been great for us, a great teacher, a great leader for this room as well. So happy to have him and happy to be around him.
Matthew?
Hey Patrick,
Hey.
early in your career, you had a lot of success right away, but your teams took a few years to kind of get there. I was wondering if you can relate to Justin Jefferson going from national champion at LSU to the difficult grind that is the NFL, and if you just, I guess, had a thought with being a young emerging star as he is in the league and how he's dealing with kind of the battles that NFL teams go through and how you dealt with that.
You just have to stick to the process, control what you can control. I tell guys all the time, Super Bowl rings, that's a team, that's a collective, achievement, but obviously you will have a hand into that. But if you want to be, recognized as one of the greats, you control your career, you control your outcome of your career, and the greatest place to be at the end of your career is in camp, so just continue sticking to the process, continue sticking to the grind, continue doing what was helping you be successful, and all the other stuff going to come with it. You can't get, obviously we know we play this game to win a championship, but like we know, a lot goes into a championship football team. And yeah, we have the talent, yeah, we have, the culture here, we have 2 more games left. Obviously, I know it's a long shot, but anything can happen. So, a lot goes into trying to be a champion, but at the same time, as long as you stay committed to yourself, stay committed to your work habits, your work ethic, at the end of the day, I think, if you do all those things and continue to do that as he's been doing, I think he'll be happier being remembered forever what some of the NFL greats are.
Go to Chris and then finish with Don.
Yeah, Pete, you touched upon you guys being kind of a long shot with the playoffs. With your playoff hopes having slipped and having to rely on other teams now, what do you got to do this week as a leader to make sure heads aren't hanging or anything along those lines?
We still got games to play. We still got tape to put on film. You still want to put out quality. You still want to put your best foot forward. You may not have an opportunity to play football next year. So you don't want to let this opportunity slip away and be like, dang, we had 2 games left, and I knew we didn't have an opportunity to play in football, and then the following you don't have an opportunity to play. I should have took that more serious. I should have done something better to enjoy that moment better. You still have to enjoy the guys you're around, still have to enjoy the process, still have to enjoy coming to work every day, because at the end of the day I still play to win. I'm just not going out there to lay down. I still play this game to win, and I know we have the guys in this locker room that has that same mentality, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just looking forward to preparing for the Green Bay Packers this week on the primetime stage, where a lot of eyes will be watching us, and we'll see where it happens. We'll see what happens.
And just as a follow, can I ask you, how much did you guys miss Andre Patterson yesterday?
With me being in the back end, I can't really, see how Coach goes through adjustments or getting his guys prepared or a rotation that he goes with. But we do know that Coach Patterson has a huge role on this team, on this defense, and has a great eye on when to have guys in there at the right time. So I can't really tell you, how significant of missing him yesterday played a part, in the running game or whatever you want to what happened yesterday. But Coach is definitely heavily involved in this defense for sure.
Don?
You talked about how you have to control your career. how is it for these young guys that are having a hard time controlling the ups and downs of a season that they can't control, right? So you say, now we're going to go to Green Bay Packers. Everyone admittedly said that the air was kind of flat at home. You would think being at home, on a Sunday during the holiday, you'd be up for it. How do you help the young guys control that going into Green Bay to make sure that they hit that high?
It's another opportunity for us to play the game that we love. Like I said, for me personally, I play each and every game. We could be, 1-16, 1-14. I'm still playing to win, because at the end of the day, like I talked about, you still control your career. You still control the tape that you put out there. And as an athlete and as a guy that wants to be remembered, I never want to put bad tape out there. So I always want to put my best foot forward. So that's my message to these young guys. You always, no matter what the situation is or no matter what the circumstances are, you want to put your best foot forward at all times, because this may be something that you can get better from. This may be a piece of tape that you can go back in the summertime and springtime and have some teach tape off it. You have an opportunity to go out there and do something that you love, that many people don't have an opportunity to do at a very high level. Why waste that opportunity?
As a quick follow-up, when you look at some of the guys and what they've had to go through with the COVID and all this stuff the past couple of years, something that you guys not have to deal with, when you're rookies and all the uncertainty and the Zooms, right. And are we in person, are we not? How have you seen some of these young guys grow faster than maybe how you did your first year or so?
Oh yeah, these guys definitely are rolling with the punches. Some of the young guys had a upper leg on and having to go through it, through their college, the last year of their college career. So, at the end of the day, we're kind of living in a world that's day to day. You kind of have to, accept that now. And I believe most of us are. And the only thing that we can do is just try to do the best that we can to stay out of harm's way, to stay healthy, to make sure that not only that we can, be there for our families, but for our teams, be available for our teams to make sure that we can have all hands on deck, going into games. So I think it was fairly easy for some of the young guys who's coming out of college, coming into the league now, to kind of fall right into line. But like I said, and nowadays with COVID, and I already know injuries play a big part into the season. It's a day-to-day business now.